All right. I
Well, hello.
am basically brand new, and just noticed your channel maybe a couple weeks ago.
Oh,
So
nice.
I figured I would give it a shot here.
I,
Um,
I like the fact that you're
I
brand
have
new, yet you called into the live stream. There's people listening to this thing for like years and years that won't call into the live stream. What's your name or your first name?
Jay, Jay,
Jay.
Jay.
Jay. All right, Jay. So
Um,
what's
so I
happening?
have a couple questions. Maybe a little unusual or uncommon, let's say.
You called the right place.
Um, First of all, there's a company. I'm not going to mention their name. You can if you want. I don't know how this works, so I'm not going to mention the name. But they advertise a whole bunch on these channels, and they have a name that it's one of the colors of the American flag, and it's not red and it's not white. Um,
I feel like I
and
know
they
who it
sell
is.
this. Go ahead.
Is it some sort of refrigerant?
Yes,
Okay, I think we all
yes.
understand. And let's hear what you have to say. We can probably name them because all these guys probably already figured it out anyway. But what's the story with them?
Well, no, it's a question. It's like I see all these ads and I see several people ask questions. I've never seen the question answered. So the question is, well, it's a multi-part question. Basically, first of all, has anybody ever used it? Does it work like they say it does? Is it does it pay? Uh, you know, the company, what's their angle? Do they just sell refrigerant? Are they supposed to be like a helpline for techs?
Okay, all
Uh,
right. So we're talking about Bluon, and Bluon is the refrigerant. And I'm just going to bring everybody else up to speed here. TdX20 is the name of the refrigerant. I think it's 458A. I think. I'm going to actually look it up online here while we're talking. And okay, here's my experience because they actually advertised with me a couple years ago for a span, and at that time, okay, well, this is going to be sort of a little bit of a backstory here. A couple years ago, we had a house fire, but before that, I had an R22 system at my house, and they were advertising with me. So I said, "Hey, whatever their name was, I can't remember, that I always dealt with." I said, "Why don't you send me out a can of the stuff since you're advertising with me, and I'll retrofit my system with it and check it out." And they never did that. They never would send out a can of the stuff so I could check it out. So I can't tell you if it works or not. I know that the premise was that it ran a lower pressure and it was supposed to be more efficient than R22, like better heat transfer than R22. It's almost too good to be true, but I couldn't tell you for sure if it was or wasn't. I know it's a blend of a lot of refrigerants and the temperature glide on the refrigerants. For those of you who don't know, it's the different points at which these refrigerants boil off in the evaporator. It had a huge glide. It was like 12 degrees Fahrenheit, which is like one of the biggest, if not the biggest, that I've ever heard of. But I never personally got to use it at all. So I don't have any beneficial information with that. But I do know their app is one of the things that they're really
okay,
stressing. And I don't know how it is they're making their money unless it's from advertising on the app. I'm not sure. I don't think I've ever downloaded their app before. I might have when they were with me back in the day, but I don't recall. But I'm guessing there must be some sort of advertising partnership with the app.
I don't have the app, but does it have ads on it? Do you know?
That's what I'm asking. That's what I'm thinking that one of these guys that are listening to the show right now may know. I'm actually going to look it up too while we're talking and see if I can get sort of a representation of what the ad or the it looks like. I'm going to bring up another screen for those of you who are watching. All right, this is the number one app for HVAC techs. Bluon's app is at the center of the largest and fastest growing support platform for HVAC techs. So it's almost like that the refrigerant was the way they started, but this app is the way they're going, is what it looks like. So let me see what it
Right.
says.
So again, it's kind of weird because you see the ads everywhere, their own ads, and then They claim that they will take your call, 24 hours a day. A real person will come on, within minutes. They'll answer your questions. If you're like in the middle of a job, and you're stuck, an expert will answer your questions. And I'm thinking, okay, well, this is great, but how are they doing this?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't have an answer for that one. I'm waiting for guys in the chat. Steve has answered and says he has not seen any ads on the app. And I do know that people call them and get tech support from them. And it's people that aren't even using their refrigerant. It's like people that will just call them as like a general purpose resort for answers. And I'm looking at the App Store preview on Apple, and I don't see any ads on the previews that they're showing, but I don't know what kind of arrangement they've made, because like you're saying, there's an arrangement. There is one somewhere. I'm not sure what it is, because back when they were working with me, I mean, it wasn't chump change that they paid for this stuff. So they're advertising and they're spending thousands of dollars advertising, minimum, maybe tens of thousands of dollars monthly. So I'm not sure. It'd be interesting. Let's see if anyone else has had any experience with this. Let's see.
And then obviously you said you couldn't use it, but you don't know anybody that's used it on a retrofit, or I mean, it seems like everybody has asked this question, and I can't see a single person, an actual real person, not like a spokesperson, that has actually experienced it and has had the chance to use it.
I haven't either. I don't know of a single person that's done a retrofit with it. So I'm hoping that someone will hear this. And what we'll do here, this is how the show basically works. It's almost episodic. We'll talk about something, and then somebody who's had some experience with it will tune in and call in, hopefully next time or the following week, because I never got a chance to use it. So I would have loved to use it, because just me being like the sarcastic, skeptical person that I am, I think there's probably no way that it can be better than the original, or else we would have been using TdX20 instead of R22. So I don't know.
Right, but they didn't come out with it till recently because of the R22 being phased out.
That's true. It's only been like 4 or 5 years at the longest, probably.
So I mean, I'm wondering. Obviously we don't know. It's rhetorical, but I'm wondering. I mean, you see, you watch all of these various videos that YouTube, different techs that have channels, and how many times do we see the ones that say, well, it's 17 years old, it's an R22 system, they don't want to replace it. I told them it's too expensive, you really, you just can't do it with the R22, and if you have a leak, it's a goner,
Yeah,
I've never seen anybody say, I mean, you see a few here and there with like 407C or something like that, but never seen anybody try the Bluon, and they claim that you don't need to change the oil, and it's
that's right.
kind of as painless as possible for a substitute.
Yeah, in fact, I'm going to go right to their MSDS form to see if it says what refrigerants are part of it. Oh, yeah, well, it's going to name... Okay, this is one of the things I remember now. I'm looking at the MSDS sheet. It's page 2, and this is right off of their website. It lists a whole bunch of refrigerants, and I can't translate here, but I'm sure one of them's 134A. There's a couple strange ones in there, and there's what's called a proprietary lubricant. It's 2% of the formula. So I guess they don't have to tell us, because it's proprietary, what that lubricant is. But I'm guessing that's what makes the oil come back around. But it's kind of weird because no one knows what it is. So I don't know.
Well, I don't care what it is. I would just like to know if it works. Pardon my French.
No, I totally get it. I totally get it. But it would be interesting to know, because if it was just a hydrocarbon or something, like I used 422B the other day, and it has a hydrocarbon to bring the oil back. Now, proprietary lubricant, I don't know what that means. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, or if it's something that would prevent me from using it, because we have no way of knowing. But we will find a person who's done it. I guarantee you, we will locate that person and make them talk to us.
I mean, it seems like if they're going to all of these newer stuff that have flammable and whatever. I mean, if this stuff is what they say it is, it may be a thing. Just keep all these R22s as long as they'll go, and and run them with lower pressures, and not have to worry about the leaks and the older components that weren't made for the high pressure. I mean, it does sound too good to be true, and that's why there hasn't been a real person that can talk about it yet.
There's got to be
that
somebody
I know
out there.
of.
There's, I'm gonna scour the internet, because if all these guys are making the videos and that are working with them, one of them has to have tried it, and we'll find the guy. We'll find a guy. It has to be a guy not affiliated with them, preferably, because then you're going to get the truthful, if it works or it doesn't work. But it hasn't caught on like fire. I mean, it's not everywhere, that's for sure, because it's just one of them things I don't usually see a whole lot of.
It seems like one of those things where, if they have all of these people on staff and people answering the phones, and they have these databases and the app and this and that, and nobody's actually used the product, and they don't have ads on the app, it seems like one of those things where when the internet first started, you have all of these internet businesses that start up, and they basically buy their customers. You find out that there's some, billionaire or angel investor that's just basically buying their customers for all these years. They're just kind of fronting the money and losing money just to create, a user base or something.
And that's what you think this is?
No, I'm thinking it seems like the kind of thing. I mean, it's got the elements of that. So, I would like to know,
is it
how
BS
they
or
make
not?
it work. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of crap that someone's made. Now we have an app and we forgot about the refrigerant.